In the new episode of A.B.İ, everything flips again. Quiet decisions turn into loud wars, and one appointment is enough to shake both the boardroom and the dining table. Just when everyone thinks the company is settling into a predictable order, Çağla makes a move no one sees coming and suddenly lands in the position of chief legal counsel. On paper, it's a professional promotion, a clean decision, a best for the company kind of step. But in reality, it's a spark thrown into dry grass. People don't just question her competence. What they really question is why now, who pushed for it, and what's being prepared behind closed doors. Because the moment Çağla takes that chair, something else becomes impossible to ignore: Behram's reaction. It's subtle at first, too subtle for most eyes, but not for Doğan. Doğan catches the looks, the micropauses, the familiarity that doesn't belong to two people who are supposedly just meeting through business. And once that suspicion settles, it doesn't leave. The more Doğan watches, the more he realizes this isn't a random connection formed in the present. This has roots. There's history here. And Doğan, the kind of man who can't stand unanswered questions, begins to dig. Not loudly, not recklessly, carefully, patiently, like someone pulling a thread, knowing the whole fabric will eventually unravel. Meanwhile, Sinan is spiraling in a completely different direction. Being cut off from the inheritance doesn't just wound him, it humiliates him. And humiliation, for Sinan, doesn't fade. It ferments. He convinces himself that the reason he's been pushed aside has a name. And that name is Doğan. Every rumor, every sideways glance, every family decision starts sounding like proof to him. The more he believes it, the more his anger turns into obsession. And at some point, Sinan stops asking, "Is it true?" and starts asking, "How do I end him?" That's when he crosses the line from resentment into danger. Sinan begins shaping a plan that isn't meant to win an argument, it's meant to remove an obstacle. Something calculated. Something that looks like coincidence from a distance. Because if Doğan disappears from the path, Sinan thinks everything returns to him naturally: power, respect, the family's attention, the throne he believes was stolen. And as Sinan sharpens his intent, the most unsettling part is this: he's not doing it alone. Behram, who has been watching the family balance tip and sway, reaches his own conclusion. In his mind, the rightful person at the top is Sinan. Not because Sinan is the safest choice, but because Sinan is the most controllable choice. Behram quietly positions himself behind the scenes, offering support in ways that don't leave fingerprints. A word here, a nudge there. The kind of help that doesn't look like help until it's too late to stop it. And while Doğan is busy chasing the truth behind Çağla and Behram, a separate storm is building right in front of him. As each character plays their hand, secrets begin to surface in fragments. Never all at once, never neatly, just enough to cause paranoia, just enough to shift loyalties. Alliances that seemed solid start cracking. People who smiled yesterday start speaking in coded warnings. One wrong conversation, one overheard sentence, one unexpected document on the wrong desk. And suddenly the whole family looks at each other like strangers. And through it all, Çağla isn't just a passive piece on the board. Her new position gives her access, leverage, and the power to bury things, or expose them. The question is she here to protect the company, protect herself, or protect someone from the past that Doğan hasn't identified yet? Every scene feels like it's hiding a second meaning, and the closer Doğan gets to the truth, the more the truth seems to fight back. By the time this episode reaches its final beats, it becomes clear that A.B.İ isn't heading toward a simple confrontation, it's heading toward consequences. Real ones. The kind that don't rewind. Because in this world, power doesn't change hands politely. It's taken. Betrayal doesn't announce itself, it whispers first. And revenge doesn't arrive like a punch, it arrives like a plan. So if you're the kind of viewer who catches the tiny details, the loaded pauses, the looks that say more than words, then you'll want to stay close to this episode, because the smallest moment might be the clue that explains everything later. And once the next move is made, there may be no way back.